3, 2, 1. Boom.
Are we going?
Episode 68. No Stephen today, but we'll have Kieran Majury on.
Hello.
So this episode we decided to talk about Quentin Tarantino, but we'll start off with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood just because it's been out for about a month in Europe and about 2 months in America now. So we have contrasting opinions on it.
Yeah.
Do you want to give your overall review of the movie, just quick, just so we kind of?
I thought it stunk.
Yeah.
I really didn't like it. I thought there were good moments here and there.
Yeah.
But overall, it was way too long. Didn't really warrant its length. I laughed a few times, but I don't know if that was down to the writing or just performances. There's maybe one good scene in it.
What's that?
That was a Spawn Ranch scene.
That was a good scene.
But apart from that, I'm kind of thinking Tarantino's lost it.
Do you think overall it's a bad movie, like in terms of like the storyline?
Yeah, because it's just a lot of it. Just seems like every film with him just seems like a step backwards. You know,
Since when?
Ever since he went away after Jackie Brown. Like, I still think there's good moments. Like, I enjoy Death Proof. I think Inglourious is very good. I think Django.
Hateful Eight, your favorite in it?
I absolutely despise The Hateful Eight. I think it's easily his worst.
It's
easily his worst.
Well, we'll get into the Quentin Tarantino like films afterwards.
Okay.
But I think focus on this here. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
Okay.
I was trying to really articulate why I liked it when we were talking about this before, and I can't really put my finger on certain things. It's the overall feeling I get when I watch it. Mm-hmm. And I went back before Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out. I went back and rewatched like his classics, like I didn't watch Pulp Fiction, but I've watched that a million times, so I know it. Watched Reservoir Dogs for the first time in years, which I liked it the first time. When you're a kid, you watch movies, you're like, and you're told this is a good movie. But then when you watch it, like you watch it, you're like, kind of like, I don't like that. But you can't have to pretend you liked it for your mom and dad.
No, I never. No,
I just think I like 5 older brothers, so when they liked the movie, I just kind of wanted to fit in.
Oh, okay.
So I went back and watched all these movies again. I watched Hateful Eight the same day I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and what I was told before I went into Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was, this is nothing like a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's so different. It's going to be completely different what he's done before, which was the biggest pile of shit because it's exactly a Quentin Tarantino movie. The style, the way that it was shot, the scenes and all too. And what I loved about it, so many things. First of all, the way it was shot, the way it looked, the actors as well in it. Okay. And I love what he does in terms of like, there's 2 things I love about what he does. He has like this fiction, even though it's a real world, but it's kind of made up because it's obviously fantasy in terms of like what the storyline is, because these characters aren't real. He has a fictional movie and with non-fictional characters.
Okay.
Does that makes fictional means fake, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I get confused all the time. So you have obviously the Brad Pitt character, Leonardo DiCaprio character, but then you have like Margot Robbie, who plays Sharon Tate. So you kind of have all these mixed together. And what I love the most about his sort of movies is like, it's not like you come into his movies with this is the start of the movie. The story starts. The story started fucking years ago, and you're coming in the middle of it all. Then you leave before the story even ends.
Okay.
So you left when obviously. By the way, it's gonna be spoilers, in case.
Okay.
Anyone.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, if people haven't seen it by now, that's their own fucking fault.
So if the way it ends as well, obviously he walks up to Sharon Tate's house and kind of pans away and it ends. So the story continues, but you only come into it. That's what I love about his movies. So I don't know what. There's certain scenes which are amazing. I thought that scene what he did with Timothy Oliphant, which I don't think you liked.
Why did you like it first?
Why like this scene?
Why? Yeah, what was so good about it?
This scene was amazing because it actually kind of showed. It let Leonardo DiCaprio kind of. What's wrong? You're like
no. I'm just I'm curious.
Okay, I think it showed his acting ability kind of, and this movie. Obviously, you've seen movies in the past like The Revenant. You've seen like Wolf of Wall Street kind of. It can obviously kind of show that, but I think this movie kind of does it in wee bits in a different way. Like that, he doesn't really come across this confident character. He's come across this character we haven't really seen probably for a while anyway. In terms of like, he's an A-list, he's a struggling A-list actor. So he's no confidence and he's struggling to get movies and stuff. So we see him as almost like a weak character, and you see him going into the scene where he's like kind of nervous about going into it. But then he obviously blows him away in terms of certain scenes, and in the scene where he's struggling, where he forgets the line, and the camera has to cut back and forth. Which I just loved about it. I just love the felt like we're actually in this movie set, where the camera kept panning to the front, and he forgot the lens and had the pan the whole way back.
Okay.
And you had like Timothy Olyphant just sitting there like, what the fuck's going on here?
Okay. So that bit where they have to reset the camera, he forgets his line.
Yeah.
Why did it take so long for us to get to that? What was
No, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that the movie is perfect. It has its flaw 100%, and I do think it could have been. You're right. It could have been cut out.
Yeah.
Could have been cut down to 2 hours and probably been a bit more fast paced.
Yeah.
And it could have been better. But I just think he does that a lot, doesn't he? He always like look at Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight was like 3 hours long as well.
Yeah. It was
you aren't a fan of it, but he kind of does that. Like what's Reservoir Dogs? Like 2.5 or not?
No, the Reservoir Dogs. That's what makes Reservoir Dogs. Okay, well.
Yeah, we're going that. Okay.
Okay. It's just kind of like from Pulp Fiction onwards, everything just balloons out to like over 2.5 hours, with the exception of Death Proof. But with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's like it has these long scenes, and you're kind of like thinking to yourself. Well, I was thinking to myself. It felt like, what's the point of this scene? I understand. Like if they were trying to show that he's not a good actor, they didn't really show it that well because he is.
I thought it was showing he was a good actor, but he was just like so much shit was going on in his head. He was starting to forget lines, and he was trying his best to actually push through these wee these cameos he was getting.
Yeah, but
it just shows you like even though he's still struggling and he's still not really making it the way he probably was because he's kind of transitioned from TV to trying to be a movie star in it.
That's what I never understood either. Is like was he ever like an A-list or was he always?
He was an A-list TV show.
Okay.
When TV shows were massive back in the end days, and then he was trying to transition to movies because movies were becoming.
So he left the original show, the black and white show, Bounty Law. He left that, and then he was.
I think it was cancelled because he did something. It kind of alluded to something he did because he tried to change something in it.
I think it was because that's the thing. There was stuff in it that I understand. You don't have to explain everything, but it could have been a bit clearer, and like I mean, let's just discuss the plot of the film. And then we'll ask at the end, does it really deserve to be 2.5 hours?
There's two things that annoy me the most about the film. Not annoy me, but I think it could have been better. I wish it was more plot driven. I wish the plot was more evident what he was trying to do. Because I felt like the bad thing about this movie as well is when it was coming out, all we heard was it's going to be Charles Manson. It's going to be about the Manson murder.
Yeah.
He honestly came out several times and says, no, it's nothing about that.
To do with that.
He said it's based in Hollywood. That happens in the background. So, but a lot of people are fucking thick. Yeah. People coming out, I can't wait to see Charles Manson. Yeah. Even though it has nothing to do with Charles Manson.
But it did. Anytime you bring
that was alluded to. So I think people.
Anytime you bring up Sharon Tate.
But Sharon Tate she didn't really affect any storyline. She was just there. I was just showing her.
That's the thing. That just seemed to be part of something else completely separate. It didn't really have any bearing on anything except towards the end, like right at the end.
It's kind of like two parallel stories kind of coming to a point. Yeah,
really
wasn't parallel then.
Really,
you mean?
No, I get you. It was like
parallel lines never meet. So stupid. Sorry,
well,
but like two lines
that eventually converge.
Yeah,
there we go. No. And it just felt like it just was a different film at the end. That's the thing. I liked the home invasion stuff, but it just was like right and. It was like it was entertaining as it happened and it was well done. But afterwards, like a wee while later, I was like, "Whoa, what exactly was the point of that? What are we supposed to take away from it?
I think I wish there was more of a plot driven. I think that I don't know what he was.
The plot is essentially this: it's Leonardo DiCaprio goes to meet his agent. Leonardo DiCaprio. Then goes and films some TV show while Brad Pitt fixes a television aerial. Then Leonardo DiCaprio goes to Italy, which they totally skip over.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio has to fire Cliff, and then because he shouts at the hippies try to kill him, and then they get killed, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just way too long. It's just way too long, and there's no real. It just seems like Tarantino had like a load of scenes that he wanted to do, but he couldn't really tie it together. So he just kind of thought, "Oh fuck it," because like it's almost like he wanted to do another western with that TV show thing, with DiCaprio, and you're like, that's fair enough, but maybe just like do it.
Did you notice that was it Michael Madsen in the
in the Bounty Law thing?
But he was wearing the exact same outfit, I'm pretty sure, as he did in Hateful Eight.
Well, that's the other thing with like Tarantino, is like everything is a reference. It's got to the point where like everything is a reference to him. When he started out, everything was a reference to other films, but like as it kind of goes on, everything's a reference to each of his films.
But you get to a point though, if you're a filmmaker, you're making these. Okay, so when you've made a movie before, and I'm sure you've probably done this as well. When you're making your movie, you probably use reference or like similarities in other movies you enjoyed. So if you're making these movies, you go out, you're a filmmaker, and you make 3 movies, and especially like Pulp Fiction, was it Reservoir Dogs, and what was the third one? Was Jackie Brown 3 one? So you make 3 movies, and you've referenced all the movies you loved in the past. You get to the point where you can't just keep referencing movies you loved, because you've probably done them a million times. So he has to make his own reference, you know?
Yeah, but he's just referencing himself, which seems like masturbation.
Yeah, I know, but like he's just doing things he's done.
I know what you guys love. Me. You know, it's like Family Guy's impression of Julia Roberts. Me.
I haven't seen that before.
Me.
So the problem I have with the movie is that I feel like he has like 2 potential plots, or like he didn't really commit on a plot.
Yeah,
and that's what it was all loosely. It was like, is it about Charles Manson? Is it going to be about like the struggles of this actress or actor, or is it going to be involved Sharon Tate? So if like he tiptoed around a lot of things, and he kind of just kind of threw it together at the end, and I thought that was my only problem. I wish he had a more of a plot driven story. Like, it felt like the movie was obviously based around the struggling actor. That's what it's about, and his relationship with his right hand man or his stunt man. Brad Pitt character obviously sees their relationship as a friendship rather than a work relationship, because he passes comment a couple of times like I'll do shit for you. I don't need you to pay me. Blah blah blah. And even that conversation where Leonardo DiCaprio tells him like, I can't afford you anymore. Like, you can tell, which I thought Brad Pitt did amazingly. Like, he just so automatically switches by just like, he's changing his personality. He just changed himself. But he's like obviously turned really sad all of a sudden, because he was like, I'm not here because I'm working for you. I'm here because I'm your friend. In that scene where he offers him to come in and watch the movie, Brad Pitt's, I have fucking six cans in the back. Of course I'm going to come in with you. So he sees the relationship as a friendship, while Leonardo DiCaprio sees it as a work relationship. So that balance I thought was amazing the whole way through it. It was like they were kind of leaning towards work and leaning towards friendship, and that struggle was constantly. But again, it wasn't apparent too much.
That's the thing. There was no real conflict between the two.
That should have been the main story.
Part of me is like, there's some films that I think end kind of halfway through, as in there's still more story to tell. Yeah. Because looking back on it, I'm trying to work out, you know, what's he trying to say with it. I know not all films have to say anything, but is it like, there's obviously like a meta thing going on with like you know, the changing face of Hollywood. Yeah, you know, he's doing about the 60s, but like pretty much, so you know, it could be about now. Yeah, exactly. You know, the death of, you know, because Tarantino was one of the few filmmakers who still shoots on film. Exactly. You know, and then streaming services and all that. So Tarantino himself probably feels a bit out of place.
And of course, the A-list Hollywood celebrity or like actor, like who is it? Leonardo DiCaprio, and who else would you say?
Probably
Denzel,
Tom Cruise, Denzel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we say he's up. Like, if Denzel Washington movie came out, wouldn't I think people would go and see it? No,
probably they would go to see it, but
like, he wouldn't have the appeal of Leonardo DiCaprio. Probably,
I don't have the appeal of DiCaprio, or
I don't think Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has his own niche now, doesn't he?
Well, that's the thing. Is there such a thing as an A-list?
I'd say Leonardo DiCaprio is probably the last. He can do. Okay, he does. Like, you look at Wolf of Wall Street, you look at Shutter Island, you look at The Revenant. They're all different movies, but everyone fucking flocked to see it just because of him. Not just because of him, but he has that appeal still. Yeah. No one really else has that anymore. Yeah. So I think that was kind of... Don't know if he chose Leonardo DiCaprio because of that, but I kind of thought that was kind of fitting.
Part of me, there's like, is DiCaprio supposed to be Tarantino? You know, is Tarantino, is DiCaprio, is the Rick Dalton character, is that how Tarantino sees himself, as like this phony tough guy? And then is Cliff how he would like to be seen? You know, an actual genuine tough guy? You know, because DiCaprio he has this stutter in it as well, and if you've watched any of Tarantino's interviews, he has a bit of a stutter himself, so it's easy to confuse it for maybe enthusiasm, but like he definitely you know, it's great when I'm writing a film, you know, and he's definitely got this stammer. So I'm trying to work out basically, why did he make this? It's he's got one more film left, and I thought, why did he feel that this story was one to be told, one that deserved to be told, maybe more than the others?
Do you think it is 10 movies? That's him done? Or do you think he's talking shit now?
I don't know. I think like something like that would work maybe just better as a TV show if that was broken into hour-long segments.
Yeah, did you see the Hateful Weight getting made into a TV show?
Well, he's done something with it, and it's been turned into a mini-series. It's not available here; it's available in the US.
But I was told that I tried to search this before you came. That Rick Dante's character is based on a person, but when I researched it, he says it's based on like these 5 different actors. But Barry in work was telling me it's based on this specific actor who suffered from bipolar. And he actually ended up killing himself as a result, because no one really knew what bipolar was back in them days, and he was obviously A-list TV actor, and he moved into films, and he couldn't do it. Kind of very similar to what Rick Dalton's character was, and he ended up killing himself because of it. But I was trying to research. Did you come across that at all? No,
I didn't really research it.
Oh, did you not research? Did you come across it? Sorry, I meant. No, that's someone told me, but I couldn't find that. I need to ask him about it.
No, but I know the guy who Timothy Olyphant played was a real guy.
Yeah.
And he was involved in a car crash, and he lost some of his limbs.
Oh God.
And then he got done for child molestation later on. So.
Oh Jesus. Fucking poor Timothy.
Cheery stuff. Well, not poor Timothy. poor actual guy who. Well, maybe not poor guy. Maybe fuck him. But
I wish that story was more apparent, but then I can see why he didn't do it in terms of he didn't want to maybe glorify the whole Charles Manson thing.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really glorify it at all.
This is the thing. Whenever you bring in like real life actual events, you have to. Because I thought the Sharon Tate thing was handled tastefully.
Yeah.
She was
respect was kind of shown towards her, like, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How she was portrayed.
Well, she wasn't really a character. She was more like a kind of like a spirit of the age.
Yeah.
Kind of like she embodied like kind of that kind of 60s kind of hippie kind of culture of like picking up
being cheap as well.
Yeah, when she goes. I was in the film. Can I get in for free? I was like, you cheap bitch. It's only 75 cents.
You fucking loaded. You're married to fucking Roman Polanski.
That's the thing. And it's... I don't know. I don't really know what the point was. And it was way too long. And it seems like Tarantino's just doing a lot of his same old stuff that I've seen loads of times before.
Do you not find that with directors? They kind of always repeat themselves? In terms of like certain things, always throw their own wee, not mistake, but you always throw something in there. Like
there's some directors who like mature and kind of move on. His contemporary Paul Thomas Anderson, I think, changed up his style. Went away for a bit and came back. Because he did Hard 8, Boogie Nights, Magnolia, and Punch Drunk Love. He like Punch Drunk Love was like a palate cleanser for him. Then he went away and he came back with There Will Be Blood, The Master, and Phantom Thread.
I haven't seen that. That's Sting's last movie, wasn't it?
Not Damien Lewis. Whatever. But Daniel Day-Lewis and...
I don't know who the fuck you on about.
Damien Lewis was Steve McQueen.
Yes.
And that thing, and that was terrible. Like, he looked shit. He was a really bad looking Steve McQueen.
I think like Steve McQueen's quite ugly. Look, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was like... someone was like, maybe they wanted to get Daniel Craig, but he said nah. Because like Daniel Craig will look a bit more like Steve McQueen because Daniel Craig's a fucking ugly bastard.
Daniel Craig's like, he's on the verge of being ugly, I think so.
Remember when women were kind of lusting after him, and I'm like, and then he's Bond. I'm like, I don't get it. He looks like a fucking.
I think he's at like that fine margin. Like,
he's like a
tough guy, and he's kind of rugged looking, isn't he? But he's like blonde hair, so it's not as. I can see what people mean, though. I do see it. He's not like he wouldn't be like. Okay, Pierce Brosnan, James Bond. No, that's smooth, but he is kind of rugged looking. Look like he's been in a few scraps.
Yeah,
it's kind of the new. I always call it like the James Bond now. I think that's what happened when James Bond came out. James Bond people were like, we need to make them movies.
Well, no, I know we're getting off topic here, but like, we can hold on. I can bring it around. Like James Bond films have always been like basically like a condensation about what's it's always they're always like a kind of rip-off of what's popular at the time, because like whenever they made Quantum of Solace, whenever they made Casino Royale, kind of reboots were like the big thing before Royale came out, and then
but I mean
and then they rebooted with that, so then the Bourne films were popular as well. Paul Greengrass's kind of style of like shaking the camera about loads came out, and then Quantum of Solace came out. And think about the action scenes in Quantum of Solace.
I haven't seen Quantum of Solace.
It's just all shaky cam. And then before Skyfall comes out, Dark Knight was like the big successful film. And what happens in Skyfall? You've got a villain that deliberately gets himself captured.
Oh yeah, so it is. Yeah, but yeah, that's fair enough. That because I think most movies are kind of like that. Most movies kind of mirror what's happening in the modern at that time. Yeah. But in terms of like, I think Bond movies have just changed all of a sudden since Daniel Craig. Because you look at even back to fucking Roger Moore, like they've always been like this more of a spy movie.
Yeah.
Then it became such a more like a I said again Jason Bourne movie. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I think so. No. I think they saw them Jason Bourne movies like we gotta make them again, and it's like they're almost like the same movies.
Yeah, don't forget like in the 70s, blaxploitation was popular, and then you've got Live and Let Die with like Roger Moore rolling into Harlem. Yeah,
yeah, I know.
So
maybe I'm focused too much on the actual James Bond person himself. To be fair, because like even in like I can't remember which one it wasn't. Daniel Craig not like in his James Bond like not wanted by the police for a bit. He was like see run away from like the police because he was like wanted by the MI5 or what you call it. No, which is very similar to Jason Bourne. He's obviously run away from the police. I'm like, so
and Mission Impossible as well.
Yeah.
Every film there seems to be there's a rogue MI agent.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah,
Tom Cruise, your people did this crime, But like I think it would have been cool if we did get to see Tarantino's Casino Royale.
Oh, what?
He spoke to the producers and all that, and he wanted to set it in the 60s. That'd
been cool.
That would have been way better.
Yeah,
I think that would have been the change up that he needed.
Yeah,
it's just because everything like him having to write everything. He could have done with a co-writer or something. I don't know. I think.
But that's his thing.
No, but with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I have a feeling that people are because Pulp Fiction. Because his early career made Miramax so much money, and even to an extent, the rest of his films like Inglourious Bastards and Django was
really successful.
Yeah, was it? I'm trying to. I think Django was his last one with like Weinstein. I think
his last one.
What?
Hateful Eight. This was the first one without it. I know this is the first one without the Weinstein Company. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
That's why I think. Maybe it took so long to come out,
right? Okay.
Because he was in dispute with was it Sony?
Yeah,
because Sony obviously wanted to have a hand in the movie because that's what they want to do. They fucking ruin movies, and he was like, "No, you can't have any say in this here." So that kind of 2 and 4 kept happening. So I think that's why it took so long for it.
Okay.
I think I heard when they come out last year. That was like when he started writing it. He had like a time frame, and it got delayed a year. I think.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that there.
It was just way too long.
Do you not think sometimes? Okay, this is not a problem I have it, but the problem I had before the movie came out is like the build up for it, the excitement for it was almost like a Marvel movie. It was almost everyone kept asking about it. Mm-hmm. Everyone kept looking forward to it, and I'm like, I'm not saying that I love Pulp Fiction, I love Reservoir Dogs, I love like even Inglourious Basterds and stuff and Django. But their movies aren't really... Well, maybe not Inglourious Basterds in Django. They kind of are. But like Pulp Fiction and like Reservoir Dogs aren't your typical Hollywood movies. You get me? You look at Marvel, for example. They have like a fucking standardization how they make movies. They have a bad guy, good guy, plot, no end. And there's no real twist really. There's no real fucking nuance things in it. It's always never something like different. They never change it up really. Marvel, and it's successful, and they just keep doing it. But with his, they're not. They're always kind of they're always a wee bit different. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's a niche. His films are niche, but he's like a niche filmmaker in terms of he's so different than he's kind of different than most other popular filmmakers. Mm-hmm. So when people kept asking about it, I'm like, "Oh, are you a Tarantino fan?" No, I'm just looking forward to Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, "Oh God, I thought you are all gonna be disappointed in this here because it's not gonna be that obvious with a Wall Street movie the way people thought with Margot Robbie and Leonardo DiCaprio and maybe Brad Pitt as well." Yeah. I think that hype kind of took people by surprise in terms of people flocked to see it and they realized, that was kind of like a long movie which I didn't really care for. I'm like, well, it's Tarantino. He kind of does these movies. Like you can't leave that movie and say that wasn't a Tarantino movie. It was a typical Tarantino movie in terms of even the foot fetishes shit was all in there. You know what I mean? So regular film goers, probably like you and I, who probably know a bit more than the standard fucking film goer, would understand that his movies aren't going to be that typical like action-packed movie.
Yeah.
While people who fucking go and see fucking Fast and Furious probably went and see this as well and thought,
you think so?
That was shit. Yeah, because of the hype about it. I think it was fucking everywhere for the last like 6 months. I went on my phone to go on YouTube, boom, advert.
Well, again, it's probably a big marketing push by
Sony. That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
They're taking a big gamble.
While like I felt like his other movies, they're obviously marketed well because he has amazing actors and he's an amazing director. But I felt this one was pushed almost too much to the point where it probably made a lot of money, but a lot of people are kind of indifferent to it now.
Well, I think it's his most
expensive.
No, I think it's his most successful one.
Yeah, because it's made like 300 million already or something.
Well, like I don't know if it's past Django. Django's his most I think domestically successful.
Yeah,
but I mean, like Tarantino's a big name. You know, still he's one of those guys. You know, you expect him as much to be doing the interviews. I mean,
yeah,
nobody's. I mean, I think the people who go can't wait to hear what the Russo brothers have to say. You know, I think they're going to be more in the minority.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, exactly. So if he's like releasing the movie, like you go on Jonathan Ross, you probably would expect him to be there.
Yeah, because he'd be entertaining and you can tell
he's quite charismatic as well,
yeah.
And he's very artsy as well. Is there any other film director like him about?
Like Tarantino?
In terms of like he does all the interviews and all too, like he would like.
What's the thing? Because he's such a maybe James Cameron. I don't know.
James Cameron, true. But I think James
Cameron's not that interesting to listen to.
He's very
watch,
boring. His name is like. He does obviously big movies, like successful movies, because like Titanic.
Because like they wheeled him out for Alita.
Yeah.
Battle Angel, and they're
so bad. Like, come here, like the trailer for it. He was in the trailer talking about it. I'm like,
that's the thing. Yeah, they wheel him out, and then they're gonna wheel him out for the Terminator, and he's gonna say the same old shit. He's gonna be like, "This is the best one since Terminator 2." And you're like, "Stop lying to me. You've said this about everyone since."
Alright guys, if you're enjoying this episode, it continues over on MCPodcasting on iTunes and Spotify. Links are below. It's episode 68 with Kieran Majury. Please like and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Comment?
Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. And there's a wee notification button.
Yeah, press it. Subscribe.